So this is I think a tampon wrapper. It's a wrapper for a tampon. Like the plastic on the outside, and that was in here, down here. So to me, that's a female Buka Nephilim, spirit. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. That explains all the paranormal phenomena and all this. It's paranormal phenomena. It's a Buka. I'm telling you, that was a possum sitting under here, and it's not just a possum. Look at that. There's no exit, entrance. Look, it's completely under there, and like you see that, and it's under. It's got all this stuff in there. Now I'm put it like this: if you had a time key algorithm, it can undo this and get here on a click of a button. It goes, that shit unravels. It comes out, and then it can transform its shape. You understand what I'm saying? So like, there's an algorithm key that it can open to get out of its burrow, and then it returns to its burrow. So this is what happens with these things. These are like a lot of entities. So this is definitely, I wish I had it on film, because like people go, oh, you're lying. There was like a little hollow. If you saw, this is a flat piece of wood over here. There's a little hollow right here, but this on the edges it's filled, and there's a little hollow, and there's no entrance exit. There's no entrance exit in there. So that's a Nephilim shape changer with time key, and that's under a burial mound. Do you see that? This is under this collection of stuff. That's certainly what that is, and there's more. They're all over the place. They're all over the place here. There's another one over there. That's it, right there. There's another one. There's several beings over there. Like I saw, like the people coming in and out of here. So it's like a goblin market. It's like I'm over here. It was raining, and I was here in the morning, and I was ranting pretty loudly, and then this guy pops up from between here, and it was raining all night. It was raining. So I came here in the morning. It was still raining, and then so when did he get there? And I was here for like maybe half an hour ranting, and then he just gets up. First time I met him, and he's just like sleeping, and he had no dirt on him. He climbed out of there, and it was at a pretty cold time of the year, and he was wearing shorts and clothes. His clothes was clean. He wasn't smudging, and having crawled out through under there, I was pretty impressed. How'd you get in there without even smudging yourself? You can't sit on this without getting smudged. You can't sit on that without getting smudged. So that's an oddity. That's crazy, and I thought that was an odd thing. And he's a Buka. He's an odd character. He speaks in he's ambiguous, disingenuous expressions, and he's not a good guy. He's a perverse guy, and I've run into him many a time. I want to talk about time keys and clockwork interactions. So like you can talk about like different things, and you hear other people telling stories. They'll be like, at 3 o'clock at a certain time, or 10 o'clock, or whatever o'clock on clockwork, they'll be hearing some noises. And this is a very common tale that people tell, but it's often the case that I'll see animals moving on clockwork. Very much the case, like particularly possums and cats and rats, mice, yes, everything. So you'll be sitting there like on the dot, on the clock. You see a little mouse go by. Always comes by, or a little possum on the clock. You see, like, and a lot of times it's on the clock. It's like, it's an on the minute thing. It's such a precise thing that happens. It's like on the minute, there it is. On the minute, there it is. And also particularly in the houses, in the floorboards, in the attics, and in the basements, this happens too. And people have commented on these things, but very much clockwork, and it has a lot to do with when people rise and go to sleep. Because when you go to sleep, you're being uploaded into another part of the matrix, and then when you come and wake up again, you're reconstituted in a fully algorithm, changed matrix. So your material manifestation is coming in and out in sleep time. So I want to talk about like Moses. He's up for 160 days. Now I've done something similar, realizing that when you go long, abnormally long periods of time without rest or sleep, you are entering into this spirit world because you're so off the chain of that algorithm reset. So I come into that sense of like, hey, wow, you're in the spirit world, and you see all kinds of characters, and information expressions and anomalous stuff. It's a very mechanical world with interpretations that are coming, because you'll meeting people saying strange things that you can understand fully. You can write it down, and there's like encrypted meaning, and like, why is this mechanical entity babbling these encrypted, with not nonsense, but with it's so much like the dreamlike symbolism, but you're in a fully waking sense, and you're meeting person after person after, and you can record it. I'm telling you, I could run around in the spirit world, have a phone with me in the spirit world, and then record these yarbling babblings of oddity. If Moses had a little camcorder with his 160-day journey, he would have proven that. And I'm telling you, that's what we were in that world. But I'm telling you, that little possum nook there's no entrance and exit out of that, and that's what that is. It's a Buka spirit, and he completely got away, and so that's no surprise. And I could tell you about more of encounters with this entity, but so there we are. I mean, I wish I had that on film. It would have been very cool to see, and I've shown like what I mean. But the thing was pristine, clean, in a full tact of its wellness. It was completely, like it hasn't even been out in the light of day. And so I wonder how it's faring, if it can withstand the light of day. I wonder. Maybe the sun is very disruptive of its cellular makeup. It could possibly be, because I had known a few Bukas that I had met, or whatever they are. Now this one guy was in a hoodie sitting on a bench near this area that's Buka infested, and he was kind of covering, this is at nighttime, covering his face, and with his in the shadow. He's on a bench, and then I looked at him. He's like crying, and he had like, his whole face was burned except for like a 2-inch band across his face. So like, as if he put his wrist up and he had like massive sunburn, but it was massive sunburn. Because and he was crying. What was he crying about? Well, very possibly could be that he has burnt himself tremendously. That could possibly be why he's crying. And then his actions were weird. Like, he's just sitting there, like, kind of like, he just seems strange. And another guy was, and I had mentioned the story before, that he had I ran into him a few times, and that I saw him before, but this other time I saw him, and it was in the night, and his face was all like warty and burnt, and he didn't have that before, so I don't know like what had manifested that now he has this like bubbly complexion that he hadn't had before. It's the same guy, so those are anomalous things in it. And again, you talk about time travel, time manipulation, and entity coalition. I talk about a lot of strangeness in that, and I have quite accumulated evidence of it. I'm trying to accumulate. That's what I try to do. But that would have been cooler to have on I need to get a better setup. That would have been cooler to have on film. And people can just didn't go, oh, you're just making stuff up. You're not telling the truth. And there's a story behind these two pieces of wood too. There's a time travel and entities. I can tell you, I recorded a version of that. Like, I want to try to tighten it up. So that is anomalous. I'm trying to. That was at the bottom right there. Boom. I don't know if there's going to be anything more to discover, but I'm going to go a little further. But again, like I said, like the little guy could be pulling stuff in and doing that, but there's no way for him to get out. This is, squeeze